Welcome to day 310 of the New Way. I'll read Matthew 26, 51 through 54. With that, one of Jesus' companions reached for his sword, drew it out, and struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his ear. "Put your sword back in its place," Jesus said to him, "for all who draw the sword will die by the sword. Do you think I cannot call on my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? But how then would the scriptures be fulfilled that say it must happen in this way?" And I'll read Mark 14:47. Then one of those standing near drew his sword and struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his ear. In Luke 22:49 through 51. When Jesus' followers saw what was going to happen, they said, "Lord, should we strike with our swords?" And one of them struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his right ear. But Jesus answered, "No more of this." And he touched the man's ear and healed him. And finally, John's version, John 18:10 and 11. Then Simon Peter, who had a sword, drew it and struck the high priest's servant, cutting off his right ear. The servant's name was Malchus. Jesus commanded Peter, "Put your sword away. Shall I not drink the cup the Father has given me?" Jesus, should we use our swords? Whack. So many times we pray like that. We ask good questions, but we don't wait on the answer. We make up our minds and never hear what God has to say. Now we know that the man with the sword was Peter. Poor Peter. He was aiming for the man's neck, but missed, and only cut off his ear. But think about it. Judas brought a cohort of the temple guard, anywhere from 300 to 600 highly skilled, highly armed men. And in this corner we have Peter, so unskilled that he missed. I assure you, he wasn't aiming for the ear. I picture him shutting his eyes as he swung. I would have. Then Jesus answered the question, "No, this is not the time for swords and fighting. Put away your swords." Then Jesus healed his enemy's ear. Did you see that? Wow. He had been arrested, yet he took the time to notice pain in someone and showed him love and compassion even though he was an enemy. If you were Malchus, the man who had his ear cut off, and then Jesus touched it and healed it completely, what would you be thinking? Every time he touched his ear, he must have remembered the love in Jesus' eyes. I hope he pursued his questions and came to know this healer as his Messiah. I want you to think about Jesus telling the disciples to pack weapons. Luke 22:36. We discussed this on day 304. And now he's telling them not to use them. What's up with that? We'll continue this discussion next time. In his service, Dale.